Hi, everybody. Okay, so I should have put OMG after the bold, but I wasn't thinking because it was really that good today. Um, okay, so Liam, we finally got some answers with Liam today, so I'm happy about that. Turns out the pills that he's taking every day is part of a treatment. However, got some bad news because his tumor is growing and they could treat it, but they don't know what he wants to do, so they can't treat him yet. And the doctor, uh, Grace Buckingham, said to Finn, we can treat him. He wants as much time as he can get, but he has to act now. Time is of the essence. She said that at least 3 times. And then, so I'm like, okay, but he has no clue. Apparently, he has no clue that the tumor has grown and all this stuff, right? So I guess we're still on the fence on whether or not they're going to keep him or they're just going to let his character pass away or like whatever. Um, so still a question mark on that, but I still have hope for his character though. Speaking of hope, you can see the friendship that they have, which is cool. Um, you can see she's almost gonna cry again, but I understand why. I mean, they were married for a time and they had a child together, so of course she's gonna be emotional. Okay, so Finn is left with at the hospital, I guess, and he's talking to Grace, and she's saying that and then they get a little personal because apparently somebody's bothering Grace, but I don't know who it is. Um, because all she said was, "I wish they would quit texting me." That's all. So I don't know. Another mystery there to see who is the texter. Okay. So then on to Luna. And Sheila finally put together Luna's last words to her were, "At least I'm gonna go out with a bang." Okay. And given everything I told you before, you know what that means. Okay. So even if you didn't know what that means, you have proof because she tied up the teacher again. Apparently, that's her methodology. She ties people up. She tied up the teacher, and what's funny is that Steffi was going to visit the teacher, but she said, "When Steffi comes, don't make a sound, don't say anything." And so I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then, so Steffi is kind of worried at first because she knows she kind of feels something's wrong, but she doesn't know what yet. And then that's when Luna faces her and says, "Hi, remember me? You thought you got rid of me, but no." Um, okay. And then, Sheila, here's the coup de grace. Sheila decides to go against the wishes of Steffi and Finn for no contact. And she says to him, or she says to her, "Taylor, I know that they don't want any contact with me, but there's something wrong with Luna, and I really need to talk to them, and I'm really worried." And Taylor says, in typical Taylor fashion, uh, "Well, you know, you're not supposed to be here. They don't want you here. They've told you plenty of times they don't want you here." And I'm like, okay, but she's trying to save Steffi's life. So actually, she's trying to save somebody else who really shouldn't be saved because with as much grief as Steffi gives to Sheila, Sheila should not care about Steffi, honestly. I mean, and I'm being real. I can't tell you how many times Steffi has said, "Oh, your mother is the worst person on the planet," yada, 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 all to Finn. Poor Finn. stuck in between his mother and his wife. Ugh. Okay. So then we have the thing I told you that Liam might get treatment. And then the final scene today was Steffi was scared for her life, but nothing happened yet. So once again, we're at a pivotal point where is Luna gonna let Steffi escape, like quote unquote escape, or is she gonna do something to her again? Now you have to keep in mind that last time Luna had Steffi in a cage, locked up for weeks. So that's why I say again. But this all coincides with we don't know. Well, there's one thing I know. The reason why we haven't seen Carter is because Lawrence A. Victor's on a trip with his family for a while. So that's why we haven't seen him. Okay, as far as Steffi and Luna, okay, Steffi, Jacqueline McInnes Wood or Woods, is pregnant again, and so she's waiting to have the baby. So of course that means that at some point she's gonna have the baby and therefore be on maternity leave, at least for a little bit, you know. So that's what's gonna happen to her character. Um, Luna Lisa Yamada has that movie or something coming out, and we don't know how long she's gonna be away from the soap opera. Still don't know that. So that's what's gonna determine a lot of it, I'd say. Um, the one thing I'm interested in is what happens with Liam. And I told you guys that he's taking pills for a reason. I told you guys. So it's part of the treatment, but apparently part of. He has to do something else to get more time. And the something else, I guess, requires him to actually go somewhere for the treatment. That's what I'm guessing. So we're gonna have to wait and see on that one. Yeah, so it was a real edge of your seat today. So all right. Bye everybody.